Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play of the AGD Interactive Studios remake of Sierra's King's Quest II. My name is Anna Mardell. When we last left off in the previous video, King Graham had traveled to Colima to rescue a woman who had been shown to him in the Daventry magic mirror as a woman who was beautiful and also desperate to be free of the tower in which he saw her presumably imprisoned. So we travel to this country. We're exploring on our own. We don't have any guards or anything with us, which seems a little odd for the situation, but not odd for the genre. We visited the town of Colima and the library, and we liberated a small talking pumpkin from a rather shady merchant who had kidnapped the pumpkin from his mother and siblings. The mother has asked that we get some fresh but bitter water for her baby to drink. And I feel like there must surely be a spring or a lake around here. I know we saw one that we took a little baby duck from, a little baby bird. Where was it? Oh, okay, here we go. This is not where we got the baby bird, but it's summer. You are in a southeastern part of Weirwood Forest. A wall of rock prevents further passage south or east. The forest surrounds you in all other directions. There's a spring here, fresh spring water. A healthy baby tree grows near the spring. It is a natural spring flowing from the rocks. A pool of water collects at the base. And interestingly enough, this is another way that the AGD folks have remade the topography of the game in a way that fits modern audiences better. The first map of Colima in the original Sierra game, the 7x7 square grid that was basically 49 squares, like King's Quest I, it was just endless looping back on each other. If you picked a direction and walked, you could walk forever and you'd see the same scenery 7 times. I don't know why Sierra did King's Quest 1 and 2 that way. To me, it's profoundly unintuitive. But of course, that's because I grew up on things like Quest for Glory, where at that point they had already understood that geography should have boundaries instead of be non-Euclidean looping nightmares. So, of course, I would think it was strange. We have a bowl here. You fill the bowl with fresh spring water. What happens if we try to water the tree? We cannot water the tree. Can we touch the tree? There is no reason for you to manipulate the small tree in any way. But you say that, but it looks different from everything else. I mean, this tree and that tree are not the same type of drawing at all. Oh, my guide informs me, and in our last playthrough, we also found Possum's basket. Possum was the little girl in red who said she was looking for her basket. And I was a little confused because the walkthrough I'm following did not tell me specifically to pick up Possum's basket whenever I found it. But it looks like actually her basket is where it shows up as randomized, or there's at least more than one option. And so It is saying now that to go ahead and pick it up and take it back to her. Possum, here's your basket of yellow flowers. She walks really fast. You hand the basket to Possum. Thank you, kind sir. Please take this flower. I'm afraid it's all I have to give you. It is more than enough. I noticed that you have picked only yellow flowers. Of course. Is it not customary for one to pick yellow flowers for another who is gravely ill? Certainly it is. I'm sorry to hear about your grandma, Possum. Thank you. Goodbye. Well, that's a local custom that we didn't know. That yellow flowers are for people who are ill. So I suppose if we manage to rescue the woman that we saw and who Graham is hoping will consent to be his wife, we shouldn't give her yellow flowers thinking they're romantic, because in her culture, they're apparently for when you're sick, which I guess could be romantic if you're sick. We have a bowl of fresh spring water, but the pumpkin mom said that her children like bitter water. So after using your sword to cut the lemon's surface, you squeeze some of its juice into the bowl and discard the lemon. You pour bitter water over the baby pumpkin. It seems to like that. Thank you again, Graham. Here, take this. The pumpkin reaches to enter her head and pulls out a candle, which she then hands to you. That thing has been jammed in my head for as long as I can remember. I know it ain't much, but maybe you'll find some use for it. Thank you. Don't mention it. Besides, it's really hard for me to sleep with that thing lit up inside my head all night. Well, we have helped the pumpkin patch, and it's probably time to move on. We'll go this way. This is the northwest corner of Weirwood Forest. Passage to the south is blocked by a plethora of large bushes and plants. To the west, you see the rear of some sort of cave. To the far west, you notice a path running north. A beautiful, majestic white swan gracefully glides across the lake. This water doesn't look clean enough to drink, and it's not deep enough to dive underneath the surface. I was wondering why we didn't just use that water. We have a very ugly baby bird that we found all alone. And why don't we release him to be with the swans? He's a swan now too! His ugliness was only temporary and illusory. A white feather lies on the ground near the pond. You pick up the white feather and put it carefully away. Swan Lake. No, just Swan. I don't know if it will appreciate me putting spaces in the in the save games. Let's keep exploring. We didn't look into what was south of town. A chasm, apparently. You have reached the eastern end of the forest. Passage to the east is barred by a chasm. Were you to proceed in that direction, you would undoubtedly experience a sudden and fatal drop. You peer into the depths of the chasm. That is one long drop. Can we follow the length of the chasm? Oh, we're kind of... The forest ends here as the tree line dies down towards the edge of a chasm. The bridge spanning the chasm looks unstable and tottery. Are you entertaining thoughts about crossing it? There's, At one time, this rope supported the bridge. It dangles down the side of the chasm now, frayed and worn. Ugh. I don't like this. Is there any way to fix it? The old rope is threadbare. It is of no use to you. So apparently all we can do is just be really careful. A lovely fern graces the base of the tall tree. You are standing in an area surrounded by a deep chasm and a mountainside. The only exit is the bridge spanning the chasm to the south. The two rows of rocks stretch out like arms across the ground. How odd. It seems like they're beckoning you to step between them. A short path runs up the mountain wall here, but leads nowhere. Incredible! The door you have discovered has taken on the appearance of a face. It is silent, however, and almost seems to be waiting for something. Can we talk to it? Greetings. I am King Graham of Daventry. Would you by any chance know of the way to a strange island on which stands a quartz tower in which a beautiful woman is being held captive? You feel more than a little foolish. Surely a door, even one with a face, would neither hear nor understand you. I am the door of destiny. I am sought out by many, found by few, and opened by none so far. For indeed, only once can I be opened. Such is the magic that I am. Through me will you find the destiny you seek, if you can perform a task. Anything. You feel intense exuberance that you have come so close to your goal in such a short time. You must bring me the gems of nature. I beg your pardon? The stone door rumbles from deep within. For a time it says nothing, and then... Gems of 3 I ask of thee, to fetch, collect, and bring to me. In water shall you find the first. What the heck? That's not fair. Please wait. While we load a save game. Why would you do that? Why would you make it time? Why would you code it that way? You had every other possible way to code it. Why would you make it timed? And for a giant wall of text like that? I know I'm not the fastest reader in the world, but come on. And this one I can't click past. Of course. Why? Why? And the door of destiny, anything you ask. You feel intense exuberance. Just breaking all my immersion. Ha! Okay, I've clicked outside the game window, so it shouldn't proceed. But it means we've lost the cool music. Gems of 3 I ask of thee, to fetch, collect, and bring to me. In water shall you find the first, though not the type to quench your thirst. Spy the second, high in the sky, with wings or no, thou still must fly. Through swampy mire, or so it is heard, in lone dark castle lies the third. Should you succeed, my noble king, to your fair maiden I will bring. I'll warn you, though, you should beware. A danger, cloaked, awaits you there. That sounds ominous. Without warning, the stony face falls silent. As you watch it, it gradually smooths out to become the mountainside face once more. You notice that within the door, 3 shallow indentations have sunk into the rock surface. Presumably, the gems of nature must fit there. Now, all you have to do is find them. How did that poem go again? It's like it's mocking me. I guess they knew it went quickly? I don't know. Alright. But we know it now. So, now we have to talk about the original King's Quest 2 and the remake here. In the original King's Quest 2, this side of the chasm did not have a rock face or a door of destiny. It actually had a single door floating in air. Nothing behind it, nothing in front of it, nothing on either side of it, just a door. And when you opened it with a key, there was another door, and when you opened that with a key, there was another door. It was like nested Russian dolls. And, you had to collect 3 keys to open 3 doors to the enchanted land where Valenice is, the woman that we're searching for. I'll just go ahead and use her name, because again, if you've been watching these in the order that I post them, we already know her name. That was all well and good for a puzzle game, but it wasn't really clear why there was an enchanted land and Valenice was in it and there were 3 doors, and why did those people that had the keys, why did they have the keys that they had? It was all very, oh, okay, what? So, what AGD has done is they have, instead of making them keys, they're now gems of nature. And presumably there's some point to having a gem of nature in your possession other than as the way to get to Valenice. A key is useless if you don't plan on using the door. So the people having the keys, it's like, were you trying to keep her locked up or what? But a gem is, if nothing else, it's pretty to look at. So maybe the people who have the gem aren't actively trying to keep her locked away. Maybe they just have a gem of nature and they think it's cool or pretty or useful in some way. Also, this is just my headcanon. I haven't actually looked up the AGD intention. But this Door of Destiny, the way it sounded like his purpose isn't just to let people go to Valenice. If Graham opens the door, okay, then Graham will get to Valenice because it's his destiny to be with her. But presumably, if you or I open the door, we'd find some other destiny on the other side. The door said that many have searched for him, few have found him. Maybe many people have been searching for the Lady Valenice, but it seems more likely that many people have been searching for their destiny. And that if they had managed to find him, and if they had managed to open this door, they would have found a destiny on that side that was profoundly different from the destiny that Graham is going to find. And I think if that is what was intended, it works really well with the nature of Valenice's captivity, which we'll learn more about in this game, because it wouldn't make a lot of sense to have her captive and then set up this door so that people could get to her. But it would make a great deal of sense to have her captive in a place no one can reach, but that Graham can manage to reach because it's his destiny to be with her, and if he goes through the Door of Destiny, it takes him to her no matter where she is. So it's literally impossible to make her unreachable to Graham if he uses the Door of Destiny. if that was intended, I think it was well done and subtle and kind of answers a lot of the questions about why this this avenue is here for getting to Valanice. And the answer is it's not here for getting to Valanice. It's here for people to reach their destiny, and Graham's destiny is Valanice. I like that. What happens if we touch it? Touching the door of destiny further will not aid you. It is stated what it requires before it can open. You had best venture forth and collect the gems. I really don't like it when games don't let you repeat the instructions. Because what if you went on vacation or something, right? And came back and didn't remember all of the locations. There's something on the ground here. A piece of paper is blown here in the wind. The paper is torn and dirty. It looks like a flyer of some sort. You smooth out the torn and tattered paper and read, "Curios I have. To the town do come. Awaiting I am." That particular style of Yoda speak sounds a lot like the guy that we stole the pumpkin from. So I'm not exactly going to race back to see what's new in town. You have run into an evil enchanter. Get out of here fast before he turns you into something. That is a leftover from the first game. Or the original game. And King's Quest 1 had something similar with the whole, "It's an evil witch, she's coming to grab you. Many flowers beautify this area. Can we pick the flowers? You have better things to do than dilly-dallying around picking flowers." Fine. There's a fallen tree. Weirwood Forest looms ahead to the north, beckoning adventurous travelers to enter. This large fallen log is all that remains of a once grand tree. Is there anything in it? The stump is too heavy for one man to lift. You peer into the depths of the dark hole. As luck would have it, you discover a beautiful set of earrings hidden inside. Each one is laced with glittering diamonds and contains a lovely blue sapphire stone in the center. Perhaps someone stashed them here. At any rate, you take them into your possession. So we now have diamond and sapphire earrings and enormous sapphire brooch. We don't really need jewelry. We have a chest at home that makes infinite gold. Although, as I discussed in a previous video, we don't know how infinite that is. If it's like, as many coins as you can pour out of it in a few seconds, or if it's, you get 10 a day and after that you have to come back the next day. Which would be a sort of finite infinity. But as I was saying, we don't really need gold and gems, but we are hoping to get married at the end of this, so maybe we are picking up our bride-to-be's royal family gems. There is a cottage here. This view instills a feeling of peace and tranquility for those who take time to enjoy it. Country life has always appealed to you. The roof looks weather-worn, but still leak-free. The door of the little cottage is kept closed. You decide to respect that. What a gorgeous flower bed! A row of red flowering plants grow happily in this well-tended plot. This is a mailbox. This is the first time you have ever set eyes upon one, which isn't surprising. A postal system won't be invented for another few centuries to come. The residents of this land must either possess clairvoyance or just simply be ahead of their time. You'll need to walk around the other side of the house to do that. Oh, fine. You open the mailbox. Incredibly, inside, there is a letter addressed to the resident. You decide to leave it in there. A card has been dropped in as well. You read it. Have you been missing church services lately? How long a while since your last confession? There is still time yet to repent your sins before the final hour. Come to the Church of Colima to pray for your own salvation, or just to make a donation. Put your faith back into the church and walk the path that has been laid down before you. Hours from dusk until dawn. Really? Not dawn until dusk? The other way around? That's... Huh. Okay. But okay. If we want to go confess some sins, that is an option. Well, they'll replace the card and close the mailbox. One of the things that... Hello. The sand from the beach glitters. The azure water of the ocean laps up to its edge. A mermaid basks on a nearby rock. Her long flowing hair extends over most of her upper body. The green scales on her lower body sparkles as she basks in the sun. One of the things that... One of the clues that the Door of Destiny gave us is that we need a gem that is found in water, but not the kind you drink. Now that could be either the dirty lake that wasn't worth drinking from, although it said it wasn't deep enough to dive there, or the sea. Can we talk to this mermaid? You say a few words to the mermaid. It quickly becomes apparent to you that she cannot understand your strange speech, let alone speak it. Okay, well, we'll just leave her alone. We don't want to bother her. I like the way she's bouncing her little tail, though. Oh no, you have startled the mermaid. I didn't mean to do that. I'll just walk respectfully back this way then. But, what I would like to do... That was a nice pathing. Thank you. Wasn't sure if it could handle that. Is comb the beach, as it were, for maybe some clues? That looks interactable. You notice a log lying on the beach. You look under the log and discover a clam beneath it. You pick it up. This is just an ordinary clamshell. There doesn't seem to be anything special about it. But when you open the clam, you discover to your surprise a dazzling pearl. This shiny, beautiful pearl seems to radiate a soft glow. Pearls are beautiful. Is there anything else up this way that we should care about? And the easy path ends there. Well, the mermaid couldn't understand us because we don't speak the same language. But maybe she would like a pearl? She seems unimpressed by your offering. It's likely she has seen a great many pearls where she's from. Oh, yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. That's fair. Valuable point. Can we get another lemon? Do we need another lemon? Lemons are good for you. You won't be needing another lemon. I appreciate it telling us that. You know who would like a pearl, though? That sleazy merchant. And we had a flyer from him that said he has curios for sale. Hey, baby girl. Hi, Jerry. What are you doing? Yeah, did you come to see King Neptune? Bless you. You have sneezes like the achoo thing in the haystack. Yes, sure. Come here. Come here. Come here. Cherry has many sneezes. Yeah, we need to ask the vet about that. I was hoping it would be like a seasonal allergy that would go away. But the season has changed and the sneezes have not. Let's go talk to the merchant and see how he's making his way without a pumpkin. Greetings again, merchant. Yes, many greetings. Need you have now, for my wares of great specialty? What wares do you sell, good merchant? For yourself, behold them. You look over the merchant's wares of great specialty and quickly reevaluate them as junk. You seem to have quite a selection of, well, quite a selection. A keen eye have you. In an item or two, provoke interest I might? A daunting rather, by all means. This I have. You appraise the object he holds up to you. It is a simple shell, intricately fashioned into the shape of a comb. The workmanship is unlike any you have ever seen. Fascinating. Where did you find such a thing? Oh, old it is. From ancient times descends. Valuable, without question. Royal property former, to be sure. You consider his story. Then you begin wondering which beach he found it on. Let's buy it. Let's buy it. If I were to purchase the shell, what would it cost? A trifle would you expend. 7 golds. I fear that I did not bring any money. Curiosity I find in one who travels, but with nothing to barter brings. Good point. Yes, we really should have brought some gold. At least with Alexander, it made sense to not have any gold because his ship crashed and all the gold sank. Yes, it did. All the gold sank to the very, very, very bottom of the sea. Very, very bottom of the sea. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Might you trade the shell comb for something? The merchant ponders over this for a moment. Of value, many things I have. Of fancy, only one I have. And that is pearls. Okay, now, I feel like we could have bartered it as worth 7 golds anyway, but sure. Would you be interested in this pearl? Indeed I would. In return, this shell I present you. May you always be well groomed. The merchant grabs the pearl and tosses the shell comb to you. Then he saunters off. History will decide how greatly you were just swindled. Gore, what a beauty! This will be worth a fortune back home! How ingenious! This is a shell which has been intricately fashioned into something resembling a comb. Do we need to brush our... Your feather is fine. I don't think the librarian has anything new to say. Oh, actually, I think she does. Yes. Could you recommend another good book? There. I love her. The book is entitled Way Below Your League, a look at sentient aquatic life. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt. Wish to explore the sea? Good luck! Even the most accomplished swimmers cannot swim very far before they tire or are pulled underwater by the currents. Even without a ship, it is difficult to properly explore beneath the surface without some means of breathing underwater. Truly only the merpeople have ever been known to offer aid in this regard, though the relationship between land dwellers and their marine counterparts has been somewhat strained over the years. It is said that the merpeople, in particular their leader King Neptune, can appraise an individual quite accurately. In fact, they seem to possess a natural ability to sense whether a person intends hostility toward them or not. Fortunately for the would-be adventurer to their underwater kingdom, they are a peaceful people, not prone to unwarranted acts of violence. The merpeople's nature is in sharp contrast to that of their neighbors, the Sharkies, who live in seclusion in the deeper, darker waters of the ocean. Little is known about them, except that they are fearsome to behold and do not take kindly to visitors. They are rumored to be excessively xenophobic and hence have avoided contact with most of the outside world. It can be assumed that trespassers into their territory would be dealt with swiftly and harshly. That seemed really, really, really useful for our current quest. I think it is just possible that the librarian might be some kind of witch. There's a horse here. This horse must have skipped lunch. It's eating the lovely flowers blooming in pots beneath the windows. The horse doesn't belong to you, Graham. Just leave it be. Because not only did the librarian... Well, first of all, she's a librarian. So there's already a high possibility of her being a witch. Second of all, she has given us exactly the book that we might need right now as we go about our interactions with the mermaid and her people. And third of all, she seemed incredibly well informed about little details like the local count supposedly being dead. I don't know, maybe that's common knowledge. Maybe people are accepting here of that sort of thing. Would you like a comb, madam? You hold out the shell comb in your hand. Clear recognition shines from the mermaid's delicate features. She hesitates a moment, then cautiously extends her arm, hands open expectantly. You gently place the shell comb in her palm. The mermaid examines it and smiles. She removes an opal necklace from around her neck and hands it to you. After a moment of admiring her once lost possession, she looks at you with anticipation. You attempt to characterize the act of going underwater to the mermaid. She regards you with a look of puzzlement. Just when the whole demonstration becomes too embarrassing to continue, she suddenly dives into the sea and swims right up to you. Oh my. After giving you a rather intense kiss, the mermaid dives underwater again. You wonder where she has disappeared to. Then suddenly you feel a pulling at your legs. Whoa! The mermaid holds onto you, keeping you from resurfacing. You struggle instinctively while trying to hold your breath, but she will not let go. You know you are going to black out soon. And then we don't. Wait a minute. You're still breathing. How can this be? Could it have been the mermaid's kiss? Speaking of, where has she gone to this time? Well, oh, look, the walk animation has changed to swimming. I love that so much. That is very cool. I love little details like that. Let's mount the horse that she's been so kind to bring us. Well, this is a new experience. The seahorse willingly allows you to climb upon its back. You slide into the little saddle and take up the reins in your hands. You just hope this creature knows where he is taking you. Did you know that seahorses are at least to me and some other people, I don't think this is official. It's not been decided by committee. The seahorses are kind of a transmasculine icon because seahorse males are the ones who give birth in their culture is not the right word here, but I can't think of the correct word. The seahorse culture, the seahorse species, the males are the ones that give birth. And so a lot of transmasculine people find them to be a meaningful, well, the game decided to go on without us. After a time of traveling through ever-deepening water, you arrive at a massive stone archway. Passing through it, you notice that it is covered with many different intricate symbols, none of which you recognize. Mer writing, perhaps? It's just writing, it's not... The writing doesn't become different just because a species has a different language. As you emerge on the other side of the arch, a grand sight greets your eyes. Oh my. They're all very green, aren't they? She wasn't green. You have entered an aquatic throne room. As one would expect, such a place has a throne of sorts. But what you see seated in it takes your breath away, if that still applies. It is unmistakably the ruler of the merpeople, the king of this watery world. Known by many names, Neptune is the one by which he is best known to your kind. Can we look around? The king's throne is truly remarkable. Even in the murky depths of this underwater kingdom, its golden sheen is dazzling. King Neptune is tall and imposing and has a long gray beard. A crown fashioned of unknown metal adorns his head. Neptune's royal guards remind you of your own castle guards, except these are naked from the waist up and have fishtails. You expect that you would get about the same length of conversation out of them, perhaps less. And the walk animation has again changed to be a seahorse. You bow before the king. He returns the gesture with a lowering of his own head. You open your mouth to speak, but only a bubble emerges. It begins floating up to the surface. You watch as your air bubble divides in two. Incredibly, each half maintains its semi-spherical shape. You take the half bubbles in your hands and position them respectively near your mouth and ear. A deep, elegant voice instantly booms from them.
You are welcome here, human. Thank you. I am King Graham of Daventry. Your courtesy depicts your stature. What is it you seek here?
You explain that you are seeking the 3 gems of nature and that you believe one of them to be somewhere in this realm. You demonstrate the approximate size and shape of the gem, then mention the Door of Destiny and what you hope to find on the other side.
I do have that which you are seeking, and I know of the Door of Destiny. It is very old, its origin known to but a few. What I possess was known to the ancients as the Birth Gem. It is, in the realm of the merpeople, it is called the Water Gem, for without water, life cannot begin. Might I have this gem, your majesty? I shall let you have the gem, but first I must ask you to earn it by way of performing a service for me.
You were about to say anything, but then remember what you heard the last time you said that word to a stone door. Instead, you just nod and allow Neptune to continue.
My trident, the symbol of my power and the strength of my people, has been stolen.
A faint mumbling can be heard through the ear half of your bubble. This event is obviously of concern to those in attendance.
It is believed that one of our allies and neighbors have taken advantage of the merpeople's kindness, and that their own king now has possession of my trident. If you can reclaim it, in the name of the merpeople, I will grant you ownership of the Water Gem. Will you do this, King Graham?
The murmuring has stopped. All are awaiting your response.
I would be honored to reclaim your trident, your majesty. My sentries will escort you to the border between our 2 kingdoms. You may continue to use that steed to hasten your journey. It is my best. My sincerest hopes that you do not fall victim to the Sharkies.
As you prepare yourself for this new quest, a sudden pang of apprehension seizes you. Did the king just say sharkies, as in sharks?
Your Majesty, is there anything you can tell me about the sharkies? They are large, fierce, and carnivorous. Anything else? They are always hungry. Anything that might be of benefit? Like something to help you live longer? I do recall. They have poorer vision than we merpeople do, as they dwell in the darker waters. So I might have a chance were I to encounter one? You can always hope. That was not inspiring. Why was your trident stolen? That is a matter of great concern to me. Should the Sharky King determine the trident's nature, he would assuredly bring about the deaths of countless merpeople. I shall return as soon as I am able, Your Majesty. Good luck.
Okay then. As you depart the underwater kingdom, look how pretty it is. You see 2 guards waiting to escort you to the Sharky's realm. Look at that, look. Look at the beautiful, just all of it. Oh, I want to go to there. It's gorgeous. The sentries swiftly guide you along the bottom of the seabed, descending into much darker, colder water. After keeping pace with them for what seems like an eternity, you notice a foreboding dark area looming closer and closer. Oh my. You have arrived at the border of the Sharky's kingdom. This is as far as the sentries will take you. One of the guards salutes you. Then they both head back to the safety of their own waters. You're on your own from here, Graham. Those guards were sure in a big hurry to get out of here. Well, oh, that's pretty. Sinewy seaweed wavers in the ocean tide. Debris from a wrecked vessel lies strewn and half buried on the seabed. Seeing no remains of the crew, you wonder if they were eaten before or after they drowned. You need to get closer. You need to get closer. Examining the heavily waterlogged remnants of the vessel. I'm sorry. Do other people have struggle talking sometimes, or is it just me? The vessel. I'm like the Star Trek guy. Our vessel is damaged, Captain. I'm sorry. Ah. Let's try that again. Examining the heavily waterlogged remnants of the vessel, you notice an old antique bottle half buried in the sand. With great difficulty, you lean over in your saddle and manage to scoop it up. Hey, Cookie. Hey, Cookie girl. Who is your good Cookie girl? It is a clear bottle with a cork at the end. Inside, you can see a large piece of cloth which has been meticulously folded up. You remove the cloth from the bottle. It is a large sheet of cloth. Okay. So we got a bottle and we got a cloth. We're going to go down, left, left again, and up.
This underwater realm belongs to the Sharkies. The water drops noticeably in temperature as you progress further into it. There are bound to be sentries on patrol around here, so you remind yourself to be alert. You need to get closer. This dark green, weed-like grass seems to have a saccharine content. Some small fish appear to be feeding on the plant. Can we take some? You sluggishly attempt to grab some of the small fish in your palm. However, they easily evade you by zipping around your hand and through your fingers. I don't want the fish, I want the... There we go. You lean over and pick some of the grass, which grows in between the rocks. This dark green, weed-like grass seems to have a saccharine content. And we have a clear, empty bottle. So we're going to put the... You stuff the sugary grass into the empty bottle and push it all the way to the bottom. You place the baited bottle on the seabed close to the luminescent fish. A few of the glowing fish are now swimming around inside the bottle. And it's glowing. That's pretty. You take the bottle. You have a clear bottle with glowing fish. They're bright and pretty. They're also pretty bright. Nice. Okay. We're going to go down. You glance at the shark nervously, but it does not seem to be paying you much attention, fortunately. Left. Down. Oh, shoot. This is the main entrance to the Sharky's fortress. Judging by the looks of things, simply entering and grabbing the trident will not be as easy as you hope. You get the feeling you should not dally here for any length of time. I feel like I did something horribly wrong. Let's try this again. Like I said, I've done something wrong. Ah, 3 screens down. And 1 screen left. And 1 screen down. And 2 more screens left. I like that you are able to explore and mess up, but it's not just insta-death. Okay. There's something here. I don't know if we can get a description of it. I don't think we can. But there's a fish actually swimming through the rock wall. In any other game, I would think that was a bug. But here, I'm wondering if that... Oh! What isn't fun is not being able to read this stuff because I clicked through it real quickly. The western wall is but an illusion. You easily pass through it into a series of caves and tunnels on the other side. And fortunately, we have some light because of the bottle. You cannot see very far ahead of you in this tunnel. With any luck, you won't become hopelessly lost in here. Yes, one hopes. I don't know that there's anywhere to go except forward. I do feel disoriented. Okay, this is interesting. A large opaque shell seemingly blocks a tunnel to the north. Whatever lies in that direction must be very important. Can we move it with our hands? You need to move closer to the door to try that. You can't budge the shell. Either it opens from the other side, or it's just plain stuck. Could we use a lever like our sword? You slide your blade through a small gap in the door and pull with all your might. It is difficult handling your weapon underwater, and you realize that combat will not be an option, so if it ever comes to that, you're in big trouble. As you open the door, ample light floods into the underwater cave, and you are now able to make your way around without the glowing fish. There's not enough room to mount your seahorse here. Am I supposed to leave it? I guess so. Oh no! The seahorse has followed you. Let's hope it doesn't give your presence away. You are safely concealed behind the remnants of a stone archway. This is fortunate, as the King of the Sharkies is also here. Aside from his menacing appearance, he also seems to be in a very bad mood. I do not understand. It should work for me. Is it not written, the trident's power can only be wielded by those of goodwill? Well, is it not?
The king's aides nod fervently.
And do I not possess the greatest will in this kingdom? No one can best me in battle. My resolve is unshakable. No amount of pleading can dissuade me from slaughtering my enemies. Does this not signify that my will is the best there is?
The Sharky's aides seem all too willing to agree.
Then why does it not work?
You watch carefully as the Sharky King taps 4 shells in order around the arch.
It matters not. Tomorrow we invade the merpeople's territory. Without the trident's power, that old fool Neptune and his weakling followers will fall before our might. Goodwill, ha! Mine is superior to all.
As he leaves, the Sharky King motions for his guards to remain. The Sharky guards are menacing in appearance, and you imagine they could do a fair amount of damage if they were so inclined. And you believe they are. The throne room is cluttered with the remnants of countless pillagings and plunderings. It reminds you of an underwater pirate's lair. It is obvious that the Sharky clearly wishes to express his love of war to all his guests, aides, and victims. It would seem that all attempts at decorating have had the sole aim of enticing the citizens to take up arms. There is a door on the right to the throne room. Shells surround its arch, and the door is currently closed. This must be the Sharky King's treasury. The throne is not actually a seat, since the Sharky King would not sit in it as such. So, there's a skull. The remains of human bones litter the throne room. Your stomach churns as you realize they probably belong to the crew of the sunken vessel you searched earlier. Oh man, that sucks. Well, we are at the hour mark. And I hate to leave everyone hanging, but I don't think... we're going to solve this in just a few short minutes. So I'm going to cut here, and when we return, we will we'll figure out what to do. This is King's Quest II, the AGD Interactive remake. And my name is Anna Mardal, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.